Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Darren. I hope you're all safe and well and having a good stitch week. And today is another stitch with me. And you knew it'd be Supersized Tiger Family of the Jungle. We'll see how much we can get done in this. Aiming towards a page finish before next weekend, so we'll see how we go. So I'll zoom in a bit and hopefully we're in the right spot. Just about to start this one and I couldn't find my needle. My favourite needle's disappeared again. There's a habit of that, so I don't know where that's gone through this time. I've had to get another needle out. Shocking. So it's Sunday at the moment. Sunday the 4th of December. 9 days till I fly. Can't wait. In one way and can wait in another way. It's going to be absolutely bloody freezing over there. So I've only got 3 questions for this stitch with me, so I'll go through those in a bit. As per normal. The fabric's a bit loose, that's right. As per normal, I'll go through work stuff. It's been a quiet week at work with regards to drama. The boss hasn't broken anything. Well, he hasn't broken anything in the shed. He has broken something though. So, on Friday, they asked Shane to take a load up to Gympie. Now, from where we work, I think it's about a 3-hour drive, something like that. And he had to use the boss's truck. I think it's a bit more reliable, the boss's truck. The Shane's truck's really old, so he had to use the boss's truck. And because it was raining the Thursday, the wood that he was taking up wasn't allowed to get wet, so they had to put tarps over it because they don't have a truck that's enclosed. So they had to put tarps over the wood. So we finished work on the Thursday, and me and Shane was helping the boss do the tarping. Yeah, I couldn't get it. Shane got it on the last strap. The boss had done all the rest, and we just couldn't fathom it out. The boss kept trying to show us how to do it, but he was doing one part so fast you couldn't see what he was doing properly. So yeah, we couldn't get it. Anyway, eventually we both got it on his very last straps, which was fun. Sorry, I thought I heard an alarm then. So yeah, we finished at 3:30. I think it was near 4:30 by the time we left. Never mind. And so with Shane taking the boss's truck, it meant that the boss was using Shane's truck for the day. So Shane stopped at his mum and dad's because he had to be at work they wanted him to set off by 5 o'clock in the morning. And there was no way I was getting up at like 3:30 to go to work, to sit around for an hour and a half before starting work. Wasn't happening. So Shane stopped at his mum and dad's, and his dad went with him anyway, just for some company. So Shane was gone most of the day, and then he come back at, so we finished at 1, he got back at about 11:15, and they asked him if he could take one more load to somewhere that's not that far. So they loaded him up, and it was about 12:30. Bearing in mind we finished at 1 o'clock. It was 12:30 by the time they got him all loaded up and paperwork printed off. So I knew for a fact he wasn't going to be back by 1 o'clock. It's only about 15-20 minutes away from work, but it's That's like 40 minutes. And then for there and back. And then obviously he had to get unloaded as well. So I knew it wouldn't be back early. So I stayed behind and did a bit more overtime. Anyway, as I said, mentioned before, the boss borrowed Shane's truck. Now Shane has been telling him that he's going to need new tyres on the front of his truck. Because he had them checked a while back. And they said that they'll last a little bit longer, but not too much longer. So he will need them changing. But with our place, the management there do not like to spend money. Unless it's for them, they don't like to spend money. Now when the boss used to have that truck, as soon as a tyre looked like it needed replacing, it got replaced there and then. By the time he got back from wherever he was going, the tyre guys were there changing the tyres. So with Shane, no. So anyway, the boss had to take a load up near, apologies, I've got motorbikes going past, somewhere up near Brisbane. Well, he was driving down the road and he heard a pop, and he thought one of the rear tyres had burst. But he says he couldn't see anything behind him through the mirrors. None of the trucks were swerving or anything like that. So he's like, okay, one of the tyres hasn't blown. So he didn't know what the pop was. So he carried on driving. And he got a little bit further. And then he realised that it was one of the front tyres had popped. And he completely shredded it because it was flat and carried on driving on it. So he said it wasn't fun driving on the rims. He was like, well, you shouldn't have been driving on them. So then, when he finally got back, he actually got back after Shane. So he had to wait ages for them to come and replace his tyres. So he got two new tyres put on the truck for the front. Then he come back and he said, Shane, why didn't you say anything like the tyres needed changing? Shane says, I've told you before. You said, oh, you've still got a couple more months left out of them yet. So yeah, so it was Shane's fault that he didn't tell him that he needed new tyres, even though he's told him like 4 times. So I says to Shane, I says, next time, I says, just do like what your dad used to do, because his dad used to drive the trucks for work. I says, just when you know the tyres need changing, just go to the tyre place and get it swapped, and then send them the bill, and then tell them that you've had the tyres changed. So yeah, so I was quite surprised. I thought the boss would have been in a mood when he got back, but he wasn't. He was still in quite a funny mood. So that was it. That was the only exciting part at work, really, there. Except for yesterday, I was working, it was overtime, and I've got the youngest lad working with me. He's only 19, and he's also a big baby. So he was driving. He drives a fork around the yard that we're in. So put packs away and stuff like that. Well, I needed a pack which was across the road in the other yard. So I asked Shane to go and get me. So he went to get me that, and the other lad sat there with face on. And I was like, what are you crying about? He says, you know, I wanted to try that. I said, you're not experienced enough. I said, you've been driving the fork for like a couple of weeks. I said, you're not experienced enough. I said, because going across the road, because the road's on a hill. I said, and there's like potholes and that on there. I said, you're not experienced enough, especially since this wood was 6 meters long. So he had proper sulks on because I didn't let him go across the road to pick up this pack of wood. I was like, really? I said, you big baby. I said, crying because you can't go over the road on the fork. I said, you can use the fork in this yard anyway. So yeah, so he had proper monk on. Anyway, we needed to shut the gate from the yard over the road. So Shane was like, well, come on then. He says, if you want to go and pick a pack up, I says, but if you drop it on the road, I says, you're picking it all up. So I told him to listen to Shane, because Shane knows where all the potholes are and how to get around. I said, so you listen to him. I said, you do exactly what he says. So needless to say, then he had a big smile on his face. So he went and got this pack from over the road. So yeah, kids. And he didn't like it when I had a go at him. He was feeding the wood through and I was stacking it out. Now there was an offcut part that comes out. Normally the person who's feeding throws the offcut away. And he was just sat there putting the wood through and all these offcuts were building up. And then he'd come and get him every now and then. He's like, oops, forgot. It's like, yeah, alright, whatever. And at one point he had them, there was like right near the end where the wood falls off. So he come over, restacked the offcut, and then walked back to put some more wood through. It's like, you've just been there, throw the wood away. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna like build up a bit. It's like, just throw the bloody wood away. And so it's getting in the way. It keeps falling off the bench. So in the end I just picked it up and threw it in the bag where we keep all the offcuts. So he wasn't too happy about that. So he sat there with face on again for another 40 minutes. It's like, really? Big kids. I says to one of other lads, I says, I'm going to go and work in a bloody nursery. I says, at least kids are a bit more grown up. There's a couple of them there that get monk on if they don't get a chance to do what they want to do. So, yeah. Children. But other than that, that was it for work. Boring as. Now, the other day we got home from work. Can't remember what day it was now. Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. Could have been Tuesday. And out the back of the house we've got the carport. And I mentioned before we've got wagtails around here. You normally hear the little one chirping away in the background. Well, they've started building a nest on one of the beams that is under the carport. And I'll tell you what they used to build their nest, I would love to know, because that thing does not move. We had gale force winds come through, and I mean it was blowing a proper gale, and that nest is still in the same spot. And it's like, whatever glue or whatever they make, they need to bottle it. They'll make a fortune off that. That nest is still stuck there. But anyway, because it was due to storm, we had to bring the car around the back. So the wagtails didn't like that one. And they stopped building their nest and they disappeared into the neighbour's yard. And I was like, oh well. Anyway, Thursday night when I got back, I just happened to hear this noise at the back and I looked and they're carrying on building their nest. I was like, alright, we didn't scare them off. So they're in full nest building mode at the moment. So this nest is like tripled in size. So that was the wagtail if you heard it. So yeah, so I'm assuming we're going to have eggs laid in there soon. And if any other birds go near the nest, well, near the area where the nest is, these wagtails attack them. And they're only tiny little birds. They were attacking a magpie yesterday. So yeah, so we're going to have some little baby wagtails. I says to Shane, I says, I don't mind the wagtails. I says, they don't make that much of a noise anyway. I says, so I'm assuming the babies won't make an awful lot of noise. So yeah, we're going to have some baby wagtails at some point. I've still got all the other baby. The baby magpie, he keeps coming with his parents. So they're happy. They're getting fed. Shane's actually taken his brother-in-law to get his head tattooed. Why he wants to get his head tattooed, I have no idea. He's already a little bit done on the back of his head, but apparently he wants the whole of his head tattooed. It's like, why? He looks horrible, but each to their own. So he's taking him so he can get his head tattoo. And then he's gonna crawl in at the butcher's down there and see if he can get some more meat. So just some cheap meat and that for the magpies. And any other meat that you can find, because the main shop's down here. For some reason I'm running low on meat. I don't know why. He also wants to go to the fruit shop because mangoes are now back in season. And when mangoes are in season, Shane eats those like they're going out of fashion. So he's already eaten. We got, I think, 5 on Thursday. No, Friday. He's already eaten 3 of them in one go. Well, no, two in one go, one in another go, because one of them was absolutely huge. How he managed to eat it is beyond me, but he managed it. So yeah, so he must have gone out and see if he can find any big tray of mangoes or something like that. And I was like, okay. So no doubt I'll probably get a phone call from him at some point when he's at the butcher's or at the fruit shop to tell me what he's bought. So it's 9 days today. 9 days till I go on holiday. So excited. I may have mentioned that already. My brother messaged me the other day. He says, what do you want for Christmas? Do you just want cross-stitch stuff? I was like, I think I've got enough cross-stitch stuff over there that I've ordered and had sent to me. I said, oh, I don't mind, whatever. So we'll see. I might have more cross-stitching supplies when I get over there for Christmas. Hopefully he may have taken the hint, because I've had a couple of parcels from Pain Free Crafts, I know that much. So he might have taken the hint and looked on Pain Free Crafts website, but I doubt it. He probably got a Hobbycraft or something like that and pick stuff up from there. We'll see. You never know, he might be kind and buy me a frame. I doubt it though. So yeah, so as far as I'm aware, I should have a couple of parcels over in the UK that have been sent. One was from Country Designs, which was closing down, so I ordered a couple of charts from them. I'm assuming they're paper charts, so we'll see when they turn up. I've got a couple of things from Pain Free Crafts. 2 viewers have sent me stuff as well, so I've got them. So yeah, I should have a couple of stuff on there. I've got my silks from Eileen, who is Thread Pickers. So I've got plenty to open. So maybe while I'm over there, I'll show you bits of haul each Flossmas video, which I'm still hoping to get done. I'm in full mode at the moment for getting ready for doing my whip parade. That's going to be fun. So hopefully I can get that done next Saturday. So there'll be overtime, I'm assuming, next Saturday, which will be the last Saturday of the year that they can do overtime. And Shane was on about working that one. He knows I won't be, because I've got to make sure I've got everything ready for travel. So that'll give me a good 7 hours to get my videos done and my whip parade and everything else. So fingers crossed I can get that done next week. That's going to be fun. Be fun to see how much progress I've made on all my projects and how little progress I've made on some projects. But that'll all change after next year, because next year I'm going to just go around and kit up projects that need kitting up. And then I'm going to go through any charts that people have sent me and organise all the fabrics and flosses for them so I can get them started. So 2024 will probably be the year of starts. And I'm stitching along and you can't even see where I am, so I apologise for that. That was a whitetail if you just hit it. I don't know if you picked it up. He was actually sat on the back steps the other day, just checking his nest, and no one was around. So yeah, it was sat on the back steps the other day. He was actually there this morning as well. And I was like, now then, do I go out that way to put the washing out, or do I go out the front and walk around to the washing line? Anyway, he flew off. I thought, right, I'll take my chance now, and I'll go out and peg the washing out while he's not there. Just don't want to scare him off while they're building the nest. Let's try that again without moving the screen this time. I think when you're trying to work out where you've got to start. Doing my usual, because I'm getting close to a page finish, I'm colour completing. One of the colours down this end here, there's loads of it, so I'm hoping that'll go pretty quick. It's part of the stripes, I think. And that one, bird, if you just heard that one, is a peewee. Which is kind of like the mini magpie. It's black and white. So I got a SIM card the other day for my phone for when I travel. So I'm going to leave my main SIM card here. So I've got one for when I travel. And went to activate it. And it's like, how much do you want to top up with? And the credit only lasts for 28 days. And I was like, well, I can't top it up yet because I need it for when I come back to Australia. So I can message Shane, because generally, instead of having to pay the airport fees, I generally wait at the servo down the road. And you just message him when you get there and they'll come pick you up. So I need to make sure I've got enough credit for doing that for Shane. So I was like, right, well, I can't activate that yet. So I've got to wait till, I think I waited out Thursday. I will activate it. Put the credit on it so it's ready. And then that will last. Well, that won't expire then until I get back to Australia. And then I'm hoping it'll work when I'm over in the UK, so I can let my brother know when I've landed. Because apparently now over there, before when you went to pick somebody up, it didn't cost much to pick them up, only a couple of pounds. And apparently now you have to pay £20 just to pick somebody up in the car park. You have to pay £20 for, I think it's an hour, and if your flight gets delayed, it's going to cost you a fortune. So I've got to sort it with my brother yet, but apparently there's a shopping centre not far from the airport. So that one only charges £1 for parking. So I'll probably tell him to go and park there, and then when I've landed and got my bag, I'll then message him and tell him to come pick me up. Well, yeah, when my mate told me it was like £20 for parking, I was like, what? He says, yep. He says he went to pick his mum and stepdad up. When they went on holiday, it cost him £60 for parking because the flight was delayed by 2 hours. I was like, holy crap, that's ridiculous. That's a right rip-off. So I got a phone call off my brother the other day. So when my phone starts ringing from my brother, it's like, oh, what's gone off now? Because you know it's something to do with Mum. So yeah, she had a fall. She was, my brother had just started his 14-hour shift. And he got a phone call from the alert company. Someone has one of those alert necklaces on or something like that. So if she falls or anything like that, they can get in touch. So she got up to put the heating on. So it was only about 10 o'clock in the morning or something like that. So she'd gone to put the heating on. And she, I don't know how, I won't know until I speak to her tonight, but she managed to fall over. So she's either lost her balance or something. And she cut her head open and grazed all her arm. So because my mum is on blood thinners, they mask apparently a lot of symptoms. So with a smack in the head, they had to get an ambulance out to take her up to get checked over, to get a scan done and everything like that, just to make sure everything was okay. So I was like, well, at least it wasn't anything really serious. Yeah, normally when I see my brother's name come up on my phone, it's like, oh, what's gone off? What's happening? So yeah, so I told him to let me know what was going off, and at when I got up in the morning, it was a message just before I went to bed. When I got up in the morning, he said they had to wait until 8 o'clock at night over there before they was gonna let her out for some reason. And I was like, well, the doctors generally don't come round at that time of night. Normally, doctors have been round about 4 or 5 o'clock. So it's like, so if they were coming round at that time, it's like, yeah, she's stopping in the night. Anyway, about 10 minutes later, a message to say that my brother was taking her home. So yeah, so she just banged her head. Well, cut her eye, above her eye, from what I believe. Now, if I remember rightly, she did that last Christmas or not, because when I spoke to her last Christmas, she had a lovely shiner. So this time I was here, she's going to have a lovely shiner again. I think I'm going to have to get padding put all the way around the house. So when I speak to her tonight, I'll find out what she's done. So when I spoke to my mum last Sunday, my niece had her driving test. So she got a cancellation. So she had her driving test, but she didn't pass. Apparently they failed her because they had to give her instructions or something like that twice. So they probably told her like she needed to turn the steering wheel or something like that. They have a habit of doing that and then failing you. That's how they got me. When I first failed my first driving test, I put the handbrake on. And the driving instructor says, oh, you've got that handbrake on too high. He says, when you start off, it's going to either stall or jump. So he says, so you're best off dropping it down a bit. So when I dropped it down, they failed me for giving me advice. I was like, really? I was quite happy with how it was. That's how I normally used to drive with it. So yeah. So she's now, as of last time I spoke to my mum, she's still got a test in January, but she's on the cancellation thing again. So she may get another cancellation. She may not. I don't know. So yeah, bless her. But she wasn't very happy that she failed. Nerves could have got the best of her, which is generally the case when you go for a test. I said to my mum, I said, oh, that's not fair. I ain't got a chauffeur now for when I'm over there. She just started laughing. Can't wait to see them all. To see how my niece has grown up. Because I was last time I saw her, she was only 13. So yeah, she's probably going to have grown a lot. I bet any money she's taller than me now. I'll see if I can get some photos. Okay, use up for a game of thread chicken. I need to see if I can get 4 stitches out of this tiny bit of floss. Can I do it? Because I don't want to start a new strand just for like 1 stitch. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do it. Or I might just link. Last stitch. Did it? You watch, there'll be 1 stitch somewhere else now that I need to do. Nope, that's it. Yay. Love playing thread chicken. Right. I'll find another colour and then we'll answer these questions that we've got. Which is my next colour? This one. There's a fair bit of this one. That's alright then. May seem a little bit noisier today than normal. I've got the window open behind me. It's not really hot, but it's just a nice, comfortable day. I think we're meant to be getting up to something like 26 or 27, something like that. And then from Tuesday, that's when it ramps up to 37, I think it is. Right, so the first question I've got is from Caroline Meehan, who asks, what is the first thing you will do when you get to England? Get off the plane. Sleep. I have no idea. First thing, well, I'll be calling in a service station and getting a coffee and something to eat. But from when I get home, the first thing I will do is give my mum a big hug. And then the day after, I'll be going out Christmas shopping. Probably. Get Christmas presents for everyone. Which will be fun, because I think the kids will have I don't know if the kids will have broken up by then or not, so that will be fun, because there'll be kids everywhere. I'm not actually sure when the kids break up over there. I think it's normally about 2 weeks before Christmas, but I'm not 100% sure, or if it's the week of Christmas. And then I will be sorting tickets to go to the cinemas, because the new Avatar movie should be out by then. Well, it's out over here then. I don't know if it's out in the UK. I'm hoping it is, so I can get to go and watch that. But yeah, I haven't actually worked out any plans. Oh, and I'll need to get a new SIM card while I'm over there as well. So I'll need to go and get one of them. Because the one I'll be taking from here should work over in the UK, but the credit will not last long because it'll be classed as international credit, so it'll use it pretty fast. So we'll see. What do you miss the most? What do you miss the most besides your family from England? The food. Well, it tastes way much better than over here. Not looking forward to the weather. Unless it snows. I'll be looking forward to it if it's due for snow, but I don't think it is. But yeah, I miss the food from over there. Most of the food over here is stuff I don't generally eat. And everything over here is laden with sugars and fats and pretty gnarly stuff, some stuff. So yeah, we're getting decent food. Probably good old fish and chips with mushy peas. I ain't had that for years. Because I say they don't generally do mushy peas over here. It's you can't really get them in the shops either. You can get them in the international aisle. They have an aisle for international foods, but you don't always get mushy peas in there. But for the price that you want for a tin of mushy peas, I ain't paying that. It's ridiculous. Like £5 for a tin of mushy peas. It's like, nah, not paying that much. So yeah, I think takeaway maybe on the cards for the first day over there. Depends how tired I am. I'm hoping I'll never suffer from jet lag. I've always managed to avoid that generally by staying awake. So I stay awake, and then when I land, I know it's nearly bedtime in the time zone I've got to. So I stay awake for that a little bit longer, and then I go to sleep, and then I'm alright the next day. So I shouldn't be too jet lagged. Plus, depending on how busy the flights are as well. If they're not too bad, I may be able to have a sleep on the plane. Maybe. Well, I think I'd be too busy watching movies, to be fair. Alright, next one is from Shaz, who asked do me and Shane ever intend for both of us to visit the UK together? So once he gets his butt into gear and gets his passport sorted, then yes, we will probably go over there together at some point. So Shane's passport's run out about a year ago, and he's not renewed them yet. But then we'll have to find out how much it's going to be to get the cats put in a category for the couple of weeks. So it depends how much it's all going to cost. Yeah, Shane likes it in the UK, so I'm assuming he'll look forward to going over there at some point again. And yes, and just so you know, the reason why your name has changed on YouTube, if any of you have noticed that, is because when you've got your own YouTube account, you can now choose your name. So they automatically give you a recommended one, but you can change that. So Shaz used to be Shaz, but now it's come up for Sharon Marie for some reason. But yeah, so that'll be why. So you can actually go in and just change your name again. It just automatically defaults to the suggested name that they gave you. So if you want to change it, you just go back into your YouTube settings and you can change it to whatever you want it to, assuming it's not been taken. because I had to pick mine the other week. So obviously I needed it to confirm that I was still Dizzy Stitcher. So when it came up for, like, they was going to suggest one for me, or I could keep the one that I got. So I put down that I needed to keep it, and they checked and said it was fine. So I actually have two YouTube ones. One which is for uploading my videos and stuff like that, and one is the one that I use for watching all my YouTube programs and commenting on people's videos. That one, I think they've changed that one to Super Dazzy or something like that, or Super Dizzy Daz. I can't remember now what he said. But yeah, something stupid like that. And it's like, okay, really? So yeah, so if any of your YouTube names have changed from when you comment on stuff, that'll be why. YouTube have now allocated everybody their own. It's to make it easier or something like that for people to find people. So you can just like if I mention another floss tuber, you can just put at and then their YouTube name, and it'll automatically link to their channel or something like that. So yeah, apparently it's to make it easier to find other people who you know, or for if you want to recommend people, etc. From what I understand from the email I got anyway. So that will be why. Oh, reminds me. I mentioned Sanika's just put on here, she likes to listen to my floss tubes because there's always some drama going off. It brightens up a dull day. So, but that reminds me, as last Stitch With Me, I mentioned about the lad from Shane's sister's work. So he was kept in an induced coma. He lost his private bits. They had to remove them. His body was 75% burnt. They had some good skin that they could use on the back of his leg, one of his legs, which they were going to use for a skin graft for the back of his neck, because apparently that was really, really bad. But they couldn't do anything because his body was too swollen. So they couldn't check for any kind of internal damage or anything like that had gone off, because his body was way too swollen for them to be able to do anything. So they had to wait for that. But apparently they said he would lose both his arms. So they would have to remove both of them because they were too far gone. Sorry, I could hear a tapping. There's a bird on top of the bin tapping a piece of bread. So yeah, so he would lose both his arms. Anyway, on Friday, they had an update that the family had agreed to terminate his life support. So yeah, so I don't know if he's passed away yet, or if he's still fighting. I'm not 100% sure, but they've terminated all life support anyway for him, so he's on his own. So I think he's actually passed away. So yeah, so bless him. So apparently he had an 18-year-old daughter and a wife. So they obviously came up with the decision what they thought was best for him to terminate any further treatment, which must have been a very hard choice to make. Now the fun part, trying to thread this needle. start dropping down to a size 26 needle and get a bigger eye. I was watching, and was it Colouring Stitches? Jessica. I was watching her the other day, she was doing a little stitch with me. She made it look so easy at threading a needle. I don't know what size needle she uses, but she made it look so easy. I was like, yeah, just fold it over, push it straight through and decide what the heck. Wish I could thread it that quick. I think the birds are fighting over a piece of bread. Alright, the next question is from Mrs. Miggins. Who said, like, the poor lad, will he be okay? So, fortunately, I just answered that one. Do you have a health and safety government department over there? Well, we have something it's called Workplace Health and Safety. So if any accidents happen at work, they come out and investigate. But apparently they're easy to bribe. So I don't know. So I don't know if anything was said or done with regards to it. They'll be in big trouble. Padlocking the medicine box, surely. Yes, certainly. And apparently, the day that the accident happened, now I don't know what they kept in the field area where the incident happened, but apparently when Shane's sister went to work the next day, everything that was in that area had disappeared and had been replaced with cows. So they're obviously covering up. And I was like, really? They didn't hang around at all. So, but they've not closed them down or anything, they're still working. So I don't know if there's any kind of inquest or anything going on, so I'm not sure. Shane's sister doesn't know if she's got to give a statement or not, because obviously she was dealing with all that first aid kind of things for the poor lad. She's relieved in a way that they've terminated his life support, because she said it's been on her mind a lot, thinking like, oh, I wonder how he is, I wonder what they're doing to him and all this lot, and how he's going to cope. So she said in a way it was a bit of a relief that they terminated his life support, so she doesn't have to worry about what's happening with him and how he's getting on. She says, but it still plays on her mind, which it will do. But yeah, the health and safety over here are not fantastic. As I've said a couple of times, Australia are a bit backwards in some of the stuff that they do, so, and what they allow to happen. Next part of the question. Does my work know about me and Shane? Yep. Because when they sacked one of the lads, who is now back, they asked if anybody knew anybody who wanted to work, and Shane went and saw them. So yes. So they know about me and Shane. Actually getting quite well with the managers. Shane is the boss's and the boss's wife's favourite. He always has been. He can't do anything wrong in their eyes. That's the reason why they're putting him through for his truck license. So yeah, he's their favourite. So it means they're always talking to me as well. And to be fair, just lately I've been getting on quite well with the boss. have a bit of a laugh with him. Mainly telling him to get away from my saw. He's not coming anywhere near it, but but yeah, he's actually been quite chilled just lately. So we'll see how that changes. He always gets kind of like that near Christmas time. I think because he knows he's having weeks off. He always seems to chill out a bit and become more fun. And then it's normally the start of the year when he's a nightmare because of all the stress of being back at work again and having to sort stuff out. So we'll see how we go with this one. And she also said, the time for your trip is going so fast. All the time with your family goes slower. Yeah, me too. But you guarantee it won't. It'll fly by. Unless my mum gets me running around rugged, doing stuff for her. My brother's already warned her not to get me doing stuff that he wouldn't normally do. She says, because once I've gone back, he says, I won't be doing it. So she's already had a warning. I think that was it for the questions. I think I only had the 3. Yep. That was it. 3 questions. Wow. What we got on here? 52 minutes. That's gone quick. Casts have been overly quiet today. I don't like it. They're never this quiet. They're plotting something. Well, actually, I can see Ginge from here. He's fast asleep on the footstool, puffy, whatever you want to call it. He's fast asleep on there. Kitty's in the back bedroom, fast asleep. Tiger was looking out the window in what should be my craft room stroke study. He was there most of yesterday watching the birds. I think he's mainly the little wagtails because they keep flying past, picking stuff up to build their nests. So I think he's just sat watching them, to be fair. We haven't had the cat come back. That ginger one that I mentioned last time that turned up in the yard, that hasn't been back. Well, if it has, I've not seen it. The tiger's not gone crazy, so unless it's happened while I've been at work, no idea. That's if I mark off while I'm going along so I can see where I've been. Still haven't decided yet what projects I'm taking out to the UK. I'm not going to take many, I'm only going to take maybe 2 or 3. Just so I've got a variety to stitch on. My New Year's Eve start that I was going to do with Judy, maybe starting earlier. Judy's already started hers. She was having a bad day and wanted to start something, so she started. Apologies. She started the mini top frock. So she said I could start mine if I want to. I was like, no, I'm going to wait until I'm over in the UK. So it may be getting started before New Year's Eve, but we will see. Haven't decided yet. That's definitely going to be an interesting challenge with Alara. I think she's already worked out she needs something like 3,000 stitches a week. I think it was a week, she said, in order to complete her part of the challenge, Well, it was 3,000. Yeah, it must have been a week. I'm gonna say it can't have been a month. I won't give her enough. So yeah, I think she got to get 3,500 stitches a week or something like that in a project in order to complete her side of the challenge. I haven't worked mine out yet. So I'm assuming it's going to be something around about 2,000 stitches because just a little bit less stitching I've got to do. I think it's about 2,000 stitches a week or something. 2,500 stitches a week I've got to do. It's going to be fun. Three. I think once I get onto the main colour that's through this one, I think it's a dark brown. I think I should fill in the majority of this empty space. Don't know how many I'll be able to get done in one go, but we'll see. I could leave that colour till the end, and then I've just got one colour to worry about stitching through. And that noise, if you can hear it, there's a pigeon taking off. The pigeons over here are a bit different to the pigeons in the UK. I don't know if there's any other type of pigeons. I only know these ones that we keep seeing. They always make a funny noise when they take off. I don't know why. These have got like a little crest or something on top of their head. Look really funny. I thought there was a fair few of them out there. I don't know what they're doing. What have I just stitched? There. Right. It's 12:30 already. And time to go and get some food, I think. So I'm going to end it here, I think. So what have we done? Done 220 stitches in an hour. So that's not too bad. Well, this part's filled in a bit more now. So yeah, so hopefully next weekend when you see this, this will all be finished. I'm hoping. But we will see. So I'm going to finish this stitch with me here, and then I'll switch this one out for Woodland Christmas and get that one page finished, and then I'll come back onto this one because I like to do things awkwardly. So I'm going to leave it here then, guys. So again, thank you very much for watching. Again, if you do have any questions or comments, please feel free to drop those down below. As I said, this may be your last stitch with me before Christmas, but I'm hoping I can get another one done next weekend. I'm hoping. So, again, as I say, so any questions or comments, please feel free to drop those down below. Again, email me on dizzystitcher@gmail.com. You can always find me on Instagram as well at dizzystitcher. I really need to start posting more on Instagram. I think once I've done my whip parade, I think I'll start posting on there a bit more. So, but yeah, that's it for now then, guys. So again, thank you very much for watching. It is much appreciated. So until next time, which will probably be my update video, or yeah, be my update video, which will be at the weekend. Take care, stay safe, happy stitching, and thank you very much for watching. Until next time, guys, bye bye for now.